Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Aurora C# Uncut Let's Play series, episode number 50. It's been 50 episodes so far, and it's a great milestone to get to, as people in Discord were talking about. Really happy that we have gotten to this point, and we've reached almost a peak in the series as we engage enemy forces, we deal with enemy threats, and we come up with new strategies and new ways to deal with our opponents. In the last episode, we mainly reorganized, reformed, and prepared for our counterattacks and for changing up our tactics, while also under fire in 351 Cygni with our ground forces decimating the enemy troop transports, the enemy forces. We managed to kill 2 troop transports and all of the ground forces on the ground, which was a great success for us. Now, in today's episode, my plan is to try and get the carriers done. So we need to get the brontide done. We'll have the vanguard done in a few months. And then also get all the fighters we will need done. We have lots of our Block 4s on the way. We also have a lot of Transvaal class torpedo bombers on the way. But for those bombers, we're going to be needing ourselves better technology. So that's going to take us 4 years. 4 years is unacceptable. Unacceptable amount of time. And we do not have anyone who is better in the field. Actually, we do. We have someone who is 30% at 25. So I'm going to remove 10 laboratories from Gamma Shields here, and I'm going to assign that to Sensors and Fire Control System. Oh, we don't actually know. We don't have anyone who's better. So that means that we're going to need to... It means that I think we're just going to have to use ECCM1, which is not great, but I think that will be better than for now anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to design ourselves the missile we're going to need. Now, I'm going to bring up really quick the Aurora calculator so we can make sure that we have the correct missile we want. We also want to make sure that we have the size 6 missile that we need to redesign and use. So let's go ahead and design the first thing. This is going to be our torpedo, so size 25, warhead strength of 36, with a desired hit chance versus the enemy targets of at least 80%. That gives us a missile of 86,400 kilometers per second. What if we do 100% chance there? Oh, that works out even better for us, I think. No? Yeah, it does. We need to make sure we actually add ECM though, as well as ECM 20%, ECCM 10%. So add those on. There we go. It gives 74,400 kilometers per second. So this means that the enemy PD should hit those about 23% of the time. So if we shot 48 missiles, about 9 of them would. If they were shooting all of them, about 9 of them would be able to actually hit. So we may want to increase our speed in favor of ECCM. If we got rid of that, how much? No, we don't really get anything from that. But this missile works out for us. It'll have a 100% chance to hit. If we did 80%, how would that affect things? That will give us 10,000 more kilometers per second, which would then lower their hit chance. This gives us, they have ECM of what, 30%, and we have ECCM, so that means that they'll have a 20% negative, so that'll give us a 60% chance to hit. We need 100%. What if I did 120? Yeah, not acceptable. That's not acceptable. So do a 100%. This is the missile we'll design. So let's go ahead and do that. We need... did we already design the torpedo? No, we did not. So I want... We're going to need an engine size of 15.15. So let's go ahead and do that. So 15.5. There we go. We need a warhead strength of 6, I do believe, for 36. A fuel capacity of 0.4607. And then the rest needs to go into ECCM and ECM. And then we need agility, so 2.593. 39, so it needs to add an extra 3 there, and that gives us the torpedo we want. Need to also power boost that, of course, so 600% power boost, and then we're going to designate this as the Mark 1 strike Hunter torpedo. So we're going to create that design. There we go. Next, we need to design ourselves our size 6 missile to immediately replace our aardvark missiles. So, I want a range of, in this case, we're going to make a long range and a short range. So this will be size 16 with a 50% chance to hit. So that means that we'll have a 30% chance to hit on target. So, what about 70% chance to hit? No, that's a 700. I want a 700% chance. There's no way we're getting that. 60%? No, 50%. 50% works well, actually. So that would give that point defense about 50% chance to hit incoming targets, but with the amount of saturation of fire we could probably do, it would work out decently well for us. Also, that's a 20% negative multiplier onto them, right? So if they have that, that would actually do pretty well for us. So we're gonna make this missile, so it's gonna be a 2.43 with a 600% power boost, 2.43 in terms of our engine. We need a 2.667 warhead. How many sixes? 2.667. Fuel capacity of 1.687. And then an agility of 0.2346. 346. There we go. That gives us, we're going to call this the Mark 5 Striker SR. So this is going to be for short range engagements. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and design ourselves a long range version. So this is going to be with a warhead strength of 9. Warhead strength of 9, a desired hit chance. And we're going to give this a 60 million kilometer range. Will that work out? That gives us not as much speed as I'd want. Let's do 40 million kilometer. 40 million kilometer range, 50% chance to hit. Target going this fast. Sure, we'll go for 40 million kilometer. We'll design this missile. Use a 2.96 engine with only a 405% total power boost. And then for our warhead, we're going to give that a 1.5. So this will hit weaker, but we're able to fire it from some significantly further distance. Then we're going to go for no, we don't want fuel capacity. What the fuel capacity? We want 0.5242. And then 0.5158. There we go. We're going to call this the Mark 5 Striker, and this will just be the normal variant. Okay, we have all of those designs, so let's get those researched immediately. I'm going to remove all these and just have them focus on getting us the best possible speed for these missiles. So I want to focus on the torpedo first. So, no, focus on smaller ones first. So, short range. Then we'll do the long range, and then we'll do the torpedoes. Okay, there we go. And we'll be able to outfit fighters accordingly to what we would specifically want or need. So short range, then we have torpedo. So that gives 2,800. So hopefully that'll be good. Once those are done, hopefully those will get done relatively quickly. We'll have the brontide stuff done soon. I'm also going to put an order in for we need Growler Block 3s. So I'm going to grab this, switch this to 40%. I need Fighter. I need Growler Block 3s at 20%. We need at least... Well, we'll have... Let's say we have 24 Transvaals, 24 Block 4s, and then 24 Aardvark Block. So let's say... We want probably at least 6 of these, so we'll do 20%, we'll build 6 of them. And then we're also going to need Sussex class, longer range retool for the Sussex. We need spaceborne fuel craft. Yeah, that's what we want. So that we can actually refuel in the fleet. So new fighters Earth. So refuel. I'm also gonna retool this exact one for the same thing. So this class retool. New fighters Earth. We're gonna need 4 more Quebecs as well. And we'll have 2 Seniors. We'll have 4 more vessels of those type, and then we can refit those, so we'll have a full carrier group there. Those 6 will be done in June, so we can set off in June. The Norfolk B class will be done as well. And so overall, we should have everything that we'll need. Let's also start. I'm gonna also start building up some boarding platoons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we're gonna need those as well. Let's start incrementing some time along. Let's see what the enemy troop transports do. Do they decide to land ground forces onto the planet? That's the real question. So far, they're just heading this way. No indication of landing possibilities. Don't seem to be doing anything. Let's just keep incrementing along, and then we'll see what they decide they want to do. Okay, mine was found. They just seems to be moving off in a weird direction. Lost contact on one of them. More troop transports heading this way. Are they preparing for some kind of large strike force? Or some kind of attempt here? We pick up a Nefund and a Baldwin class. Alright guys, give me 1 second. We will get right into this. I may cut this from the episode, but there is a thing out of town. Real quick, 1 second. I apologize, and we are back in. Okay, so 1 day increments at a time. Very interested to see what they are deciding to do. Okay, those are the escorts for those vessels. We lost contact of them, though. Troop transports are continuing to move away, which is interesting to think about. Okay, so they opened fire. So those vessels came over here to try and salvage, and have actually gotten hit. That's beautiful. So we were attacked. So they opened fire on us, destroying infrastructure, wounding civilians, and then we opened fire with our service auto battery. You have a 70% chance to hit it. 200mm cannons opened fire and ripped through one of the shailout mapes and also the salvager class vessel. Perfect. We hit them again. Yeah, we continue to hit them. We're waiting for our large ones. We lost an emplacement. That's unfortunate. Yeah, definitely unfortunate here. Though we are starting to hit them more and more. Chance to hit is not as effective, though, here. Are they gaining some distance from us? Was that the problem? Let me have a look here. No, they're no distance, but it's causing a few issues. Well, we are hitting them. Hitting them pretty damn hard, but not many hits. Okay, 1 more horse down, a secondary power explosion, which is fantastic. And then we're hitting the rest. Even with a 3% chance to hit, we actually destroyed that entire fleet, which is amazing. So these surf-assault weapons are actually proving extremely effective, considering. How many of them do we currently have available to us at this point? We have 300mm point defense, 100mm point defense. We can get these into brigades as quick as possible. Let's transport them over to... Do we have brigades available? Yes, we do. Where are my Natals? Natal, orbiting Earth. No, I don't. You're orbiting Alpha Centauri. You're over the Sol system. Okay, once you've refueled, I want you to transport these as much as you can. Now, these should be 10,000 tons, so that should allow us to transport a total of 27 of them. Let's have a look at ground force real quick. I would like to know. So, a surface to orbit battalion, you are 10,000 tons, correct. So, I'm going to have you come over here, you're going to refuel from the colony, and you're going to load up as many of these surface to orbit weapons as you can get your hands on. 200mm, 100mm, let's grab as many of these as we can get. 11th, STO batteries, 12th as well. And then 13th, batteries, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. I'm going to grab as many of them as we can get our hands on here, realistically speaking. The point defense batteries are not as important, but massive amounts of fire does obviously help in some regards. 20th railgun STO, and 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Where's the 23rd? 23rd, 24th. 24th, yeah, 24th, where second, we want 200mm, okay, that's all the ground forces we'll get from there. I'm sorry if you guys can hear anything in the background, by the way, it's pretty busy, because the Euros is on, but we're going to auto route over to Bernard Star. We're not, not Bernard Star, actually. We want to go to Rice, to Alpha Centauri, and we want to unload all those ground forces onto the planet. Okay, let's do a one-day increment. Okay, now the question is where are their troop transports and where are they moving to, in particular? Okay, Devonshire B-class, not much that's doing. Well, hopefully we should have our next brontide class carrier finishing up here relatively shortly, which will be good. Okay, increase morale, abandon fuel refinery. Yeah, okay, troop transports are heading our way, so it looks like they're going to prepare another ground invasion. Yeah, here they come. We'll probably be able to destroy them before they even get close. We're acquiring more information, by the way, through our espionage, which does help us out. Okay, here they are. They are on top of us right now. Are we going to actually fire? No, we're not. They're just approaching our... There we go. Now we're starting to hit them. Hitting them hard, hitting them fast. 371 energy weapon impacts there. 451. Yeah, they can't even get on top. Okay, they actually did land. They have drop bays then. Well, more ground combat for our Marines, that's for sure. We wiped the last ones out pretty easily. So I'm hopeful for this. But yeah, we're destroying these troop transports and we're holding for as long as we can. These Marines are going to be heroes if they live through this war. On our increments. Here we go. So we estimate quite a lot of forces. We lost 274 Marines. They lost 600 infantry. So not as good as before. But we're still doing okay. So 8-hour increment. We estimate a lot less, apparently. Yeah, we're not doing as much damage as we did before, which is definitely unfortunate. 8-hour. Yeah, now it's time to break through. Kill 30,000 tons. I destroyed those. And it looks pretty good for us right now. Starting to break through as well. Taking less losses. We're trading a lot less efficiently than we did previously, which is unfortunate, I will admit. And yeah, there's really not much to say besides the fact that we're pretty much melting through the enemy forces relatively easily. Is our supply the problem? Let me have a look over on VV1 Signy. We also have some infantry brigade. Oh yeah, those are those. No, supply's good. Everything looks somewhat good. I think we just lost more than normal here, but we're starting to rip through the enemy forces. Breaking through. And yeah, looking pretty goddamn good. And yeah, that's a massive breakthrough there. Should absolutely be slaughtering through them now. 374. Massive points of breakthrough. And that should be a wipeout of all their forces on the planet now. There we go. So we just dealt with literally every last ground force. We will lose over time due to attrition, but you know this is costly for them to do so. So I'm not too worried in a lot of ways. So we have inactive research labs that we need to assign somewhere. Shield regen. Let's get that up. Better drives. Sussex, hopefully that'll be done soon. Hopefully we'll get more of these crafts done soon. Yeah, these transports coming in. We need those 200mm if we're going to stop them from getting to the surface, that's for sure. Oh, no. Yeah, they decided they wanted to come again. And we managed to hit quite a few of them. Lots of wrecks at this point getting in orbit. A lot of hits. More energy weapon impact, 70%. We just destroyed those. These surface to air weapons are ridiculous. Absolutely mowing through enemy ships. I mean, they can take on the entire war on themselves. So I can't wait to get more of them built up and used, realistically speaking, here. Okay, Norfolk B-class was constructed, which is fantastic news. Did we get, what the shipyards? Yeah, we got a few more shipyard changes. We're building more vessels up. Nothing too important. Alright, boarding platoon's finished, Sussex class is done. Complete researches the Mark 5 Striker SR. Ordnance. So we're going to start producing these immediately. We're going to produce a first service run of 2,000. That'll be done in 2 years for all 2,000 of those missiles. So I'm actually going to put ordnance because we're going to need a lot more ordnance. I'm going to cancel fighter factories and we're going to begin to construct ordnance factories. There we go. Now we do 1 day increments. And we're just waiting for our carrier group at this point to be done. Two transports are heading our direction, which is concerning. There could be another 46,000 tons worth of enemy forces, which would be a lot. Adding more of these research labs to these areas. Continuing to do a 1 day increment here. You have more troop transports appearing as well. Yeah, they're heading towards us. Well, one of them is anyway. It seems to be rerouting through. Okay, 48 penetrating hits on that one. Hope that we can, yeah, there we go. He destroyed it before it could get its troops landed, which is good, because that would save us, our ground forces more. But yeah, so far the service assault weapons have been very, very successful, and I'm extremely happy with their performance. Okay, look how many wrecks are in orbit of the planet at this point. We have a salvager. I don't think the AI realised that their salvagers are just going to get mopped up again. Yeah, heading straight towards us. Another warhorse, another Shade-Out Mapes class vessel. Yeah, they made it here, but are we going to actually fire on them? Hello? Hello, fire? Open fire? Let me have a look at the situation. They seem to be staying out of our range, which is annoying, I will admit. But now they're getting closer in. There we go. They're starting to hit. Okay, salvager down. 60 hits through here. We have a much lower chance to actually impact. But we fire a ridiculous amount of ordnance. Armor hits. We're not scoring a lot, I will admit. And we are taking quite a few actual hits onto our vessels. Hoping that we can actually get through these. There we go. One Reverend Mother class vessel down. Yeah, there we go. We're getting one in most of them here. Okay, we just destroyed all those vessels. Good news. And let's continue doing our one-day increments. They will whittle us down, but we are we're trading extremely efficiently versus them, and that's really what matters here. Okay, we're doing our one-day increments. Hopefully we'll get our stuff built. More transfer class vessels are being constructed and built up, which is fantastic news. We need to get that torpedoes researched and sorted out as quickly as possible, though. We're working on the Mark 5 striker. I'd actually like you to focus on the torpedo. Yeah, focus on the torpedo. Remove from queue. We need that as soon as we possibly can here. That'll be done hopefully by the end of the year, and then we can set off for probably by the end of the year once we have enough ordnance. That's going to take a lot. For now, we're just going to hold here and try and do the best we can with the situation that's been presented. I hit like save by accident, yeah, but we should be able to pretty easily get a force up and running and then send that over with about 90 fighters total. I'm hoping that the sheer amount of ordnance and the short-range torpedo usage will allow us to effectively deal with our opponents. Okay, we've landed on Rice with all of our surface orbit weapons. Now we're going to load the surface orbit weapons into brigades. So I want 100 millimeters into that own brigade, so that will give us total size of 40,000 tons, which is what I want. Nothing over 40,000 tons, otherwise it won't work out. So we'll do the 100 millimeters, and then we'll do the 200 millimeters here. So there we go, 200 millimeter, 100 millimeter. And then these surface orbit weapons will be shipped off to Bernard Star for defense duties once we've assigned them to a division. So that's surface orbit battery, 100 millimeter, 100 millimeter. And then I want to assign up the 300 millimeter guns, which are going to be a lot more impressive and useful because they'll have a significantly further range, which will help us a lot. So that gives us a total of 7 more brigades that we can assign to a division to be sent out. So we'll have 8 brigades total in the division, which works out really, really well for us. Even though we do not have a, how do I say this? We don't have any regiments to actually put these under, which we kind of need. Still, that's plenty of ground force. We have 350,000 tons worth of. In fact, that's a little bit too much. We have 270,000 tons of capacity, and not enough actual capacity to transport you guys. So I'm going to put you under the Army Corps itself and not under the Surface Orbit Division. So there we go. We're going to try and transfer the division over now. So we're going to grab our Natals, orbiting Rice. Actually, if we combine those, that will give us 120,000 capacity. Actually works out decently well for us. So we'll join up there and then we can move everything over. And that should then allow us to transport every single surface orbit weapon over to Bernard Star for defensive duties and for defensive purposes. Okay, continue doing 1-day increments. So far, so good. No more contacts have been spotted, which is interesting. We managed to destroy a load of vessels, though, which is really, really impressive considering the facts. How is our in Vega? How is our intelligence gathering going? It's going okay. We have 600 intelligence points now on the planet. And we're continuing to gain further information. Two Aegis C-class vessels were built, which is fantastic news. Let me get so we have the Aegis Cs now. We're going to refit the Aegis B-class vessels, though, into the Aegis Cs. So that's 4 more to refit, but those are now done. Brontide, or the FRSS Vanguard, is going to finish up here soon, which is going to be amazing news. Yeah. Should finish up with this increment. There we go. The FRSS Brontide, or the Vanguard, the first of another new vessel, now completed its construction and is ready for deployment. So where is the Vanguard? Vanguard is there. So let's make ourselves a new fleet. We're going to need a supply vessel. We're going to need a Norfolk vessel. We're going to need destroyer escorts. So on the Aegis C. No, we don't want one of those. We want the Aegis C class. There we go. We want the Helio C. There we go. So that gives us 1 escort squadron already. Then we'll have 2 more Helio Cs finishing up here soon. And we should have more Aegis C class vessels, I would think, somewhere here. Were we refitting them? Was that the difference? So first fleet, Aegis class vessels? No, those are Aegis Bs. Where's the second strike group? Second strike group has the 2 Aegis C classes. Okay, well, I'm going to attach you guys. I'm actually going to give you to the to reassign to the Vanguard fleet. I want this fleet to be the most advanced fleet in the entire Republic, essentially. So then we just need 1 more Helio C. We need 2 cruisers, and then we just need the fighter wings. So new fighters, we have quite a few. Aardvark Block 4s, Block 3s, Ontario vessels. How many Ontarios do we have here? We only have 12 Ontarios. So how do I want to set it up here? So we have 18 Ontario class vessels. We have 90 capacity. We've got 72 dedicated fighters. I have 36 dedicated to Aardvark Block 4s, 18 to Transvaals, 18 to Ontarios. Now I want to do 24 Transvaals, and then we'll have 24 Transvaals. So 36 Aardvark Block 4s. 12 or 18 Transvaals. Was that correct? 24 Transvaals, 12 Ontarios. I think that'll work out well. So we're gonna detach all the Ontarios, and then I'm going to assign them to the FRSS Vanguard. Where is the Vanguard? There we go. Land on the sign of mothership. There we go. So those will get landed, and then I'll reassign them and sort them out a little bit later. But we need more Aardvark Block 4s to be complete first. Now we're also continuing our production of Mark V Striker short-range missiles, which will be extremely more potent compared to our previous missiles. New fighters complete orders landed on mothership, which is fantastic news. So far, we have no information regarding any further attacks on our vessels. Oh, we do have some shit on Mapes class and some troop transports, so we may have more troop transports heading our way here soon. We'll have to see, though. They're just heading off in a random direction, which is really, really weird when you think about it. But yeah, hopefully we can get all these vessels done, get the Vanguard ready to move, or the Vanguard ready to move out with its fleet. And then we can take the initiative again and hopefully hunt down our enemies and deal with them appropriately. But I'm not going to send them out until they're completely ready, because we saw what happened before when we attacked when we were not ready for our opponents. Yeah, so let's just continue incrementing along here. Hopefully other vessels should be finishing up relatively shortly, including our cruisers, extra fighters, Sussex class, extending the range of our fighter capabilities and other vessels. Natapier has completed orders and has joined up. So that now means that we should be able to basically put all of these under the same and then transport them all effectively to the area that we need them to be transferred to. So, where are my Natals? Natal, logistics, Natal PA009, fleets, load subdivision. We're going to load all of the surface orbit division, the full surface orbit division. There we go. Take that to Bernard Star, and then orbital drop those onto the planet. Should be able to load all of the ground forces and then get them to Bernard Star, and that'll make Bernard Star one of the most fortified areas in all of the Republic. Considering it's on near the border, essentially, it would be the first core planet to be attacked if they were to go through the jump gates. That will be of vital importance to be able to actually be able defend. We're also finishing up Growler Block 3s, so I'm thinking we have, 24 Transvaals, 12 Ontarios, and then 36 normal Aardvarks. I think that would work out best. That would give us a total of, that would give us 5 squadrons total, so we're going to probably need 5 to 6 Growler Block 3s, and it should, that should work out decently well for us. So far, no more attempts to land forces onto the planet. We still have our colony here, by the way, and it is going strong. If we have a look over Sydney, just under 1 million people. Has been hit. There is some atmospheric dust been kicked up, but there are people living on the planet, and they are protected. We have lost quite a few ground forces, though, unfortunately, in the defense of the planet. But they've done an excellent job, and we have managed to destroy many of the enemy vessels. And if we could salvage these vessels even... Oh, speaking of salvage, shouldn't we have those vessels scrapped by this point? Scrap shipyard. Yeah, we should have. Stockpiles. Disassemble all of those, please. That gives us 4,000 points. That gives us 12,000 research points. 12,800 research points there. Power propulsion, we need to get magnetic fusion reactor, and then we'll have a massive discount. What about, can we, stockpiles, can we disassemble ECCM2? And then ECM3. That does give us some research points in regards to getting better ECM, which I do want to actually dedicate people towards getting. So I'm going to remove 10 research lamps from you, and I'm going to assign that to our best person. Begin research of ECCM2, and then what other components do we have available that we can disassemble? Let's disassemble the CWIS, beam fire control, which gives us a crap ton of research for a load of other things. Electronic countermeasures has gotten that, beam fire control research. Stellar rate fusion reactor, thermal sensors, we can obviously get some of those, and then the twin Gauss turrets over here. What does that give us? That gives us research into Gauss cannon rate of fire 3 complete on Earth. Just the sheer amount of actual research we're getting. Our fire control we should be able to get better fire controls almost immediately here. We got 25,500, and yeah, we're getting quite a lot of extra research on these. 2 Helios Sea vessels did finish up construction. Now, the problem with the Helios Sea vessels is that they use missiles, and they'll have to use the short-range missiles for now anyway. So I'm actually going to reassign the destroyers. So where are our destroyers? Gather missile destroyer, Helios Sea. You are going to actually not use the Mark IV strikers. You're going to use the Mark Vs, but you're going to use the short-range ones. So we'll put you as short-range. And then our strike fighters on our other block force. Remove these. I'm going to put in the Mark V striker short-range missiles. And then let's assign both those destroyers to the Vanguard's fleet. So, well, they are going to have 2. So that'll be... Yeah, so that gives us we got all of our destroyers that we need. Got our supply vessel, got our landing craft vessel, we got our Ontario squadron. Now we just need to wait for fighters to complete as well as the cruisers to complete. But so far, research, organization, and ground forces everything looks to be going as planned. So I'm very, very happy in that regard. 4 Quebec's completed construction, so we're going to assign those straight into. I'm going to assign those straight into the proper fleet that they need to be in. So they need to be in the Vanguard. No, I don't want them in the Suffolk. Fleets. Join the Vanguard and land on the same ship on the LCA Norfolk. And then we can get all of those loaded. Actually, let's load up our boarding platoons first before we do anything. So 30th, because we want to capture as many enemy vessels as possible since they have a technological advantage over us. So if we can capture them, obviously that would greatly benefit. We need to close the technological gap so that we can appropriately deal with them. Because as I said, there are 3 engine techs ahead of us. This is significant. Okay, and then let's join the Vanguard. There we go. Perfectio. And then our cruisers should be done somewhat shortly here. Let's continue to begin refits while we have stuff in dock. So Helios B-class vessels to Helios C. There we go. That's 2 more can be refitted. And then we should have... Seniors will be done in July, so a month. And once those are done, we'll be able to use those effectively to help with AMMs, but also mainly sensor duties and being leaders of small task forces. But yeah, no contact so far in V15 Cygni. V1581 Cygni. I keep saying 51, even though it's not that, it's actually 15. July. So about 20 days or so until we get our seniors, and then we're just waiting on fighters at that point and missiles. Then once we got those, we can begin to depart with our fleet. Yeah, so far everything looking pretty goddamn good. No issues whatsoever. I would love to get all the salvage though. There's so much salvage we could get. Growler Block 3's done. Let's get those assigned and sorted out over for our carrier group. So we have 26 Block 4s. We're still waiting on more of those. We need 2 more of those. We have the Sussexes we need as well, which it works out goddamn well. I'm going to land those onto the Vanguard. So remember, these are our, basically think of them as in-air refueling. They're not decently fast, but they allow us to cheaply and easily extend the range of our fighters. So we're going to land those onto the Vanguard. And then I'm going to land up we're going to put 4 Growlers on first, so land onto the Vanguard as well. Vanguard. We'll have to organize these all correctly into their own squadrons in a little bit, speaking of that, but there we go, those have been landed, which is fantastic news. Continue incrementing. So far, again, no sights of any enemy forces. They don't seem to have done anything here. After taking those losses, maybe they decided that it was not a good idea to continue a battle or a fight against us in this system against those surface assault weapons until maybe they're regrouping. Yeah, that cloaking device has been damaged, hasn't it? Yeah, they may be able to detect our vessel now, which could be problematic, I will admit. I'm hoping not, but we'll see. We will see. We're nearly at 700 points as well, by the way. Intelligence points, that is. Which is fantastic. That will actually, hopefully, reveal some more further information on our opponents. Okay, Senya is just completed. We also completely essentially the Hunter torpedo, which is fantastic news. So, how many torpedoes would we realistically want? So, if we had 24 Transvals, that would mean that we would need 24. Let's go for 5 reloads, but remember each is size 25, right? So, I'm gonna go for, where is our carrier? Super carrier. Brontide. Ordnance. We're gonna remove 200 of those, and how many of the torpedoes can we actually add here? So that would be 48. So that could be, so for every 200, we can add 48, which means that we can have a total of 96. So I'm going to remove we're going to have 500 striker, short-range striker ASMs, and then we're going to have the rest of them are going to be torpedoes. So that gives us 96 torpedoes. If we have 24 torpedoes, that gives us 4 reloads of the torpedoes. Meanwhile, if we have 32, or 36, so to speak, 36 Aardvark Block 4s, firing 4 torpedoes each, that gives us 144 missiles. So that gives us 144, 288. That gives us around 4 reloads for both. So that works well for me. And then for our supply vessels, supply B, let's first off, we're going to remove all of these. I'm going to remove most of these as well. I'm going to add in the Mark 5s. Then we're just going to add in the torpedoes. So we're going to remove those, and we're just going to add in extra torpedoes there as well. What's going on with this logistics vessel, by the way? We do have it ready. Did we finish? Oh, yeah, that was what we were finishing. We're finishing up for the 20,000 ton. So let's retool for the missile logistics vessel. And then shipyard fleet. We can begin to build a couple of those up. There we go. But yeah, those Senyus are now complete, so we can then assign those correctly into the fleet we need. So 2 Senya class vessels, which should be done. Yeah, there we go. There's our cruisers, the Admiral Lazarev and the Alexander Nevalsky. Yeah, those are signed up. So that now puts us at 282,000 tons. That gives us all the Senyas we need here. And yeah, that's looking absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. AMMs aren't really very important nowadays, because obviously they don't have it. The enemy doesn't have any missiles. So, but yeah, now we're just gonna wait on getting those torpedoes done. We're going to need as many torpedoes as we can get. So I'm gonna load this to 50%, and then I'm gonna start construction on Hunter torpedoes. I'm gonna put an order in for 300 to start off with. So that gives 300 torpedoes. That means that we can build 10 torpedoes a year. It's not great, to be honest. I will admit. I will admit to that. Let's do 5-day increments. Complete research into shield regenerate, which is fantastic. Let's go for better shield regeneration rate though, and then I'm going to assign the rest of our laboratories to carronades for ground weapons. Combat engineer battalion showing on Rice, which is good news. Okay, more fighters are being built. The Talpier completed orders. That now means Ego has all the close weapon systems it's going to need, which is good news. We've reached 700 intelligence points on our enemies here. On their homeworld, anyway. Full gravitational survey for the Vega system has completed, so that means it's only got 2 jump points out, which is interesting. So the Himalayas, or the area in which they are also colonizing in that direction. Complete research to alien autopsy, so that should now mean, if we have a look at their species, Kingdom of Bautzen, systems populations Vega, known species. Should we not know their information now? Known species, there we go. Boutzens. Minimum of gravity, so they prefer, okay, so oxygen pressure, they have a minimum of 0.04, maximum 5.16, they have a max of gravity, temperature, interesting, very interesting. But yeah, we have 30 labs now that we can assign somewhere. Missile and kinetics weapons would be the place I'd want to assign things to. Let's just go for the normal striker, and then power propulsion is going to be a big one. Everything should go into this. We're going to go for magnetic confinement fusion reactors, which is going to take quite a while to research, I will admit that much. Let's go for terraforming. We've actually got a lot of progress into that. Let's do our 5 increments. There we go. So I think this one would actually leave the episode off. I'm sorry this is short. It's going to be a little bit late today. But we are basically preparing. We've repelled multiply me ground waves. Preparing to, we've nearly got our counterattack fleet ready. I'll see you guys next time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully next episode we can bring the fight to the enemy forces. Bye-bye. And special thanks to members Autogo1101, King Strozer, Lewis Neto, Impassive 9001, Benito Renito, Fishik, Grand Mania, Fishik, Alex Roberts, Doodle SM, and anyone else that I forgot to mention. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.